Today I want to share a few thoughts on the creative process, and in something in particular that if you're not aware of it can really inhibit the process. But first, let's have a look at our porch garden, which I haven't shown you for a while, and has been, an interesting time. So the tomatoes are pretty much at the end of themselves now. There's a few more that are coming on that are still sort of young and ripening. The strawberries, they've been kind of interesting. They've had flowers, they've had fruit, but I think we've got some rodents up here that are enjoying them before I can get to them. And the manuka, it's questionable. I'm not sure why that is, but we haven't had much luck with our manuka up here. And the kale. Kale's been growing really well, grown really tall, and is quite delicious. And so a few more tomatoes. These ones were planted a little bit later and in the pots. And then sad, some cauliflower that the heads of got eaten out by the rodents. And there's a chili plant there that's growing quite nicely. And I'll be repotting that in a minute. But best of all, we've got rosemary, which is just looking really fabulous, really healthy. We've had difficulty growing these in the past, but these ones are doing well. I dare say in the rainy season I'm going to have to put them under the shelter. And you'll notice too that the trees here are looking pretty bare at the moment. It's definitely our dry season. It's hot season. It's a little bit overcast today, so the light's kind of kind and it's not too hot up here. But we don't have as much shade as we often do when there's more leaves on the trees. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about a subject that really I've been thinking a lot about recently, and this is part of the creative process. And it's all about asking questions. Have you ever noticed that the most creative people ask the big questions? Not just any questions, but ones that really challenge the way we are taught and the way we understand things. People like Pablo Picasso or Bob Dylan or Nikola Tesla are all people that pushed outside the bounds of just what is being taught from the textbooks into asking these bigger questions. So instead of just looking for the right answer, the correct answer, ask yourself, what else could possibly be a solution to this creative problem that I'm facing? So getting outside the dualistic right and wrong into a more holistic, non-dualistic approach. When we grow up, we're not taught to question authority, whether it's in school or an education institute, whether it's at work or maybe even at church. We are not taught to question the quality or the validity of what's being taught. We're directed to give the correct answer when we're sitting a test or an exam, and this is, providing good statistics for the institution that's doing the teaching. I believe we really need to go beyond the restrictions of the education institutes of right and wrong, good or bad, black and white, into a more holistic thinking rather than just that dualistic thinking. And ask the question, how else can I see this? And bring this into our workplace, into our relationships, into our spirituality, into every part of our creative lives. And I found since living in Thailand, the years that I've been here, over 20 years, that it's definitely more of an Eastern way of thinking, the more holistic, the more open way of thought rather than a Western thinking, which is quite dualistic. The Eastern thinking tends to be more holistic and is more open to accepting ambiguity and tends to be more connected with other people and with nature. And this is really a big part of why I love living in Thailand, because of this different way of thinking, different way of experiencing life, and really, for me, a different way of being creative. The best teachers I've ever had have always inspired intuition and creativity and innovative thinking. They're not just seeking what the correct answer that they want is. They want us to discover for ourselves our own expression. So they're not just looking for the right answers, they're wanting us to discover alternatives for ourselves. And so this challenge of creativity is really to get beyond the right and wrong dualistic thinking that so many of us are so used to, and diving into a deeper and a richer way of being creative by asking alternative types of questions and pushing beyond the boundaries of just what we've been taught from textbooks. And as you begin to do this, you'll quickly realize that the mistakes that you're making aren't actually mistakes, they are just part of the creative process. And certainly one of the things that I've always had in mind here, right from my very early time in Thailand, I've realized that if there's some tension, if there's some uncertainty about what's going on or what's happening, I'll ask myself, what haven't I understood about this situation that's happening here? And this is something that's helped me have a more comfortable life here, because I'm not stressed about things being different all the time. It's just my different understanding, because I'm coming from a Western dualistic thought process that I have spent the last 20 something years looking to change and actively working to be more creative with. And this, yeah, fits with my gardening, fits with potting up things on our porch here, or planting trees, or photography, or making video, or doing wood carving, or the other creative endeavors that I really enjoy. So I hope these thoughts are helpful to you. I hope they will inspire you to think outside the box a little bit more. And if you're interested to see other videos from our garden and our lifestyle in northern Thailand, please check out this video next. And again, thank you very much for watching.